no basement to trade.
Oh yeah, that's right. You got to pick it from the far end side of it.
But in celebration, we're drinking white man's, poor man's champagne. A little bit of Coors Banquet. They are not yet sponsoring us, but if they want to, we can touch tips to that.
Cheers, my friends. Ooh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Woo!
This is Boomer beer.
Boomer beer.
You know, it's not gluten free. It's not 100 calories like that new shit.
This is gonna make us fat. In other words.
I mean, look at your dad.
Yeah, you're right. He's pretty skinny actually, but maybe in his heyday, right?
Well, I mean, you know, not your dad specifically. Yeah, look at your dad. Okay, Boomer.
Again, what is up, guys? It's us once again. Back to you with another episode of the Depicts podcast. I'm Eduardo, my co-host Brett Otto.
Hi.
It's been a minute to have one of these once again, dude. It's been I think it was the last time.
It's been over a month.
Really?
I think we might have met online a time or two.
Okay. Yes, we did.
Yeah.
With the holidays and all that, it just makes it difficult. I think we're
in depression.
Yeah, depression. We definitely had stuff going on both our ends, so we made it. I mean, we're here in the studio again.
Yeah.
So yeah, man. I mean, for starters, how was your Thanksgiving?
Oh man, Thanksgiving was good. I actually this year, I didn't stuff a bunch of food in my face like I do every other year.
Oh, dude, I did that very exact thing, dude.
Did you?
I was miserable, and I always tell myself like I know what I'm getting myself into, so it's like I'm bracing myself. I'm mentally preparing myself, you know. But then I do it, and then I'm miserable. So it's like, you know,
Welcome to America. You know, like that's the one thing. So I was getting my hair cut. And this lady, I felt really bad. I have no filter. And I think that's part of what the podcast has done to me is I just feel like I can be open with everybody.
Yeah.
So I'm getting my hair cut and embarrassing my daughter, by the way, my 11-year-old. She was visiting.
Yeah.
Divorce. That'll do it. But anyway, so the lady cut my hair. She's... and this is, by the way, not along the lines of Milka, our guest before.
Yeah.
You know, this is like your, McDonald's drive-through haircut. That's why I'm wearing a hat. But
oh no.
Yeah. So she's asking me about my Thanksgiving plans. And, she's being polite, making conversation and. You gonna eat? You gonna eat a lot? And I said, no, that's the problem with America. We all eat too much.
Oh wow! I can just imagine she gave you like the straight look in your face, like a straight look, right?
Yeah. I said, honestly, I mean, you look at the top 10 killers in America, and it's all food related. I mean, we eat as much on Thanksgiving as we do every other day. Am I wrong?
So what's the difference, right?
Have you seen the drive-thru lately?
It's like wrapping around the freaking restaurant, dude.
Yeah, so one side of my head is shorter than the other end, but it's all good.
Really?
No.
I was gonna say,
no, she did good. She did good.
Okay.
Yeah. So she put up with me.
Yeah.
And but I was speaking truth. I mean, I was not saying anything I wouldn't say.
Yeah.
We do have a problem in this country with food and with eating and. So this year I decided to refrain a little bit. Didn't even drink as much. I didn't even drink myself into a coma like I do every other Thanksgiving.
Oh no!
I got drunk. I
you?
still drove. No.
Whatever we're saying, hey, I'm not. If he says it, he means it. That's all on him, all right? I don't condone any of it. That's my partner here for you.
Yeah, I've been drinking all day. I don't care anymore. My family's not here. I have nothing to live for.
As you can see, it explains this here in front of us. Yeah, which, by the way, this is for decor. For anybody wondering, we're not reaction alcoholics. At least I'm not. I try to drink when I try to behave.
There was one day I was playing Fortnite and. Oh boy, I don't even know if I should say this, but I'm gonna. I had a bottle that was about the size of a Knob Creek bottle, and I probably had like a third of the bottle left, and I decided I was just gonna finish that one night.
Jeez.
Because I wanted to get my Battle Royale win,
yeah.
and I felt like I played better when I was drunk.
Yeah, I mean, they say that's like, oh, you know, I do this better when I'm drunk. There's people that say that or claim that, right?
I drive better when I'm drunk.
I probably wouldn't be able to handle myself, to be honest, and I would never want to try to. So I'll say
I'm kidding. I just.
I play better. I play pool better when I'm drunk.
Oh,
Joking.
yeah.
No joking. I suck at pool.
You know what I'm good at when I'm drunk?
What?
Ask my wife. Yeah. And that would be going to bed alone.
He's not passing out.
Yeah, he just passes out. So anyway, yeah, so that's how Thanksgiving was.
Yeah,
and,
nice.
But today it's really cool because speaking of drinking,
Yeah.
I said, hey, Eduardo, what do you want to drink? Like, you know, I'm gonna get the beverage. I'm gonna supply that. What do you want to drink? And you said White Claw.
Yeah. Well, only because there's a lot of talk of it, as people can see here on my right hand side. We got some White Claw, and I've heard about it through people and saying, oh, you know, this new drink or whatever. But I've never really personally tasted it. So that's the first thing that came to mind because, I mean, we do the usual. We'll have like a Coors or a Corona, whatever may be out, whatever else there is out there. But it's like the one thing I never really understood why this is good is, you know, people claim to be this is the new wave, I guess you can say, right? So that's why I suggested it.
Well, it's not beer.
It's not beer, okay.
It's seltzer.
So what is that? For me, does
like
know what this
is just carbonated water.
Really?
So LaCroix got famous by, you know, a couple years ago, 2016, 3 years ago. This whole flavored carbonated water rage started.
Okay.
So then these guys, White Claw, came in and they were like, we're gonna ride that wave. And they did, and they threw alcohol in there. Some people equate it to like a watered down and carbonated flavored vodka.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Excuse me. But it's actually more of like a malt beverage.
Okay.
Than that. So neither one of us have tried it. The thing that's catching on with the millennials, the reason why it's catching on with the millennials, you're looking at the millennials are much more conscientious of gluten-free, their diet, they care about that stuff, right? And so this is 100 calories, gluten-free, 2 carbs, right?
Okay.
And I heard that I was watching some Instagram videos. What's that guy's? Trevor Wallace?
Wallace, yep.
He said that this stuff is actually healthier than water. And I believe him.
You serious?
You got to watch the video.
Oh, okay.
So, no more. So Boomer Beer is taking a rest. Let's crack one open. We've got 4 flavors. We've got a variety pack. We've got raspberry, some sort of a lime, some sort of a natural lime, ruby grapefruit, and black cherry. So I guess I'm going to start with black cherry. So White Claw, hard seltzer. 5% alcohol, so that's gonna pack a punch.
Yeah, 5%. That's what I said, right? When I told you about it, I'm like, it's pretty strong from what I've heard.
12 ounces, so it's like the same as a beer can.
Okay.
And are you gonna have one?
Yeah. Oh, I thought we were both gonna.
You can have one.
Oh, okay. I want to be too, just barging in there.
That's what I got it for.
Okay.
That's why I put it on your side.
Okay.
I have the rest of it. But when you suggested it at first, I thought the first thing that came to mind was wine cooler. I said,
yes.
I said he's asking us to drink wine coolers, and he wants to put this in front of the world that it's a couple of really manly, masculine dudes pumped with testosterone drinking cheerleader beer together.
So for everybody watching, this is the first time me and my co-hosts tried it. Cheers. We're popping our cherry, I guess, in the sense of like drinking these.
Black cherry.
I have raspberry, so here we go.
Okay.
You know what it reminds me of?
Huh.
Right off the get, there's this energy drink out there. It's kind of in a similar can as this. I forgot the name of it. It starts with an E.
Zions?
Yes. It almost tastes exactly like that. Just without like the added what is it, like the secret sugar that they add on there to make it a little bit sweet.
Yeah.
That's what it tastes like. Without that like sugary taste.
Yeah, definitely. Like it reminds me of if like I ever was diabetic and I'm like, oh no, I can't have sugar, and they're like, oh, this this will be okay. So it's like if I right before I took my insulin shot, I'd be taking shots of this too.
It's pretty tasty. I mean,
I guess if I was underage and I couldn't drink, and this was at the house party.
Oh, this is actually not that bad, to be honest. Yeah. I can do it. But the thing is the look of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it looks like an energy drink at the same time, but I can't be at a party. Like, if I was young, I would not want to be holding one of these.
No, I'm the opposite.
I'm a straight Corona glass bottle.
Oh, but you're so gangster, not me. I try to show everybody I'm the most docile dog in the pack. You know, like, oh, hey guys, have you tried this? Pretty good. My sister likes it.
Instead of drinking like that, you have a straw in it.
The umbrella.
I know, really.
Yeah, my sister really got me into these. It's really good.
But overall, man, I mean, not bad.
Mm-hmm.
I'm impressed.
Mm-hmm.
I'm impressed. I was thinking differently.
Well, we'll drink these through the show.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you had anything to talk about.
Well, if you're asking me, first and foremost, in the music game, have you heard of the? First of all, rest in peace to this gentleman, just because it's just another soul lost and another young individual gone too soon. I feel like this gentleman or rapper by the name of Juice WRLD.
Yeah, I saw it in the article. I hadn't heard of it.
Yeah.
Dude, there's a lot of those new ones I'm not heard.
Yeah, so it's pretty much young cat coming up in the game. He was a pretty prominent rapper. I think I would want to say like a year or 2 years ago. He was pretty up there in the charts. He OD'd, and I guess it made him he had seizures. He died of a seizure.
That's what I read.
But they said that it was due to drugs. And he tried to pretty much hide these drugs from the cops, so he like downed them, and that triggered it. So it's just a messed up case, man. Overall, rest in peace to the guy. You know, condolences to him and his whole family. But it's a tragedy, dude, because it's like, you know, I wonder, and a lot of people say the same thing. So you would think this is like a prime example of, you know, this is what will happen to you if you fuck with this type of shit. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But these other cats are not really looking at it that way. Like they kind of say R.I.P. You know, I'm gonna double think about doing this and that for like a day or two, and they're back to the normal stuff. But it's like, how many more times does that have to happen for it to really go in their heads permanently to where like, yeah, we need to kick off this stuff. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Even Lil Wayne at one point, he was having a lot of seizures from the lean. And dude, it's like, you know, man, you really gotta know.
What is lean? What is it?
Promethazine, coffee syrup. They mix that with just soda and they just sip on it, and it's supposed to make you high, right?
I guess. I mean, I've never had it.
Yeah,
I know that. I thought it was like what codeine, isn't it?
It's codeine, yeah. It's pretty much,
So that's what DJ Screw had. That's what killed him. Yep. And then all the other rappers in the South were drinking it. Yeah. So it was like a prominent drink down there.
Yeah. UGK, like back in the days. I remember when I was young, that 36 Mafia song, Sipping on Some Scissor. Mm-hmm. Like, I never knew what it was growing up. Then later down the road, I'm like, oh, that's what they meant. But see, that's the thing. They make it sound so cool. So it's like you feel like these younger cats pick it up and they roll with it. So it's a real you know, tragedy, dude. And I feel like that's one of the things that really kind of like, you know, for all the young kids out there or just anybody that's really influenced by his music, man, you know, you really need to realize this shit ain't a joke to really mess with, you know what I'm saying? So just, I kind of wanted to throw that out there, put it out there too. So just as a, you know, it's sad, dude. It's sad that someone's gonna go out like
I mean,
that.
we have a major problem with drugs. And like
drugs
I was just telling you, we're getting ready to have a musical guest here pretty soon. And so, you know, he's in the hip hop field and young cat. And it just, you know, I was thinking, you know, I told him that back in the day, I opened up for Sir Mix-a-Lot. Yeah. And so I broke out my CD, you know, letting my boy Eddie hear
from the archives
some of that fresh stuff back of the Amasizi.
Tell him the entertainment, the label.
Oh yeah, Independent Shiznit Entertainment, and my logo was a little trailer, like an old trailer with just messy, sloppy handwriting letters, and that was supposed to be my chain, like my Death Row chain, but with like a trailer.
You need to make that happen. If we ever get to that, I mean, we're putting out this universe. When we do get to that point, you need to make that a chain,
dude. It's gonna. So like I've, you know, the Mega Millions lottery. I'm hitting that every time. I've got this one ticket that I just keep putting in the reader every time. So one of these days, my number's gonna hit, and when it does hit, we're never gonna have to work again. This will be our job. and so will my independent Shiznit entertainment record label. And
they'll be the affiliate with the
yeah,
Depicts
yeah,
podcast. Yeah,
like like yo, I like to broadcast on the podcast with my mom's ass. Yeah, I don't know what I'm saying, but anyway, so but back to the drugs.
Yeah.
My boy, his name was Tech. Rest in peace. He was the same way. He went out. I think he went out on heroin, and that was his vice. And he was using the music to get away from it. I was using the music to get away from, my stuff. I ran with a rough pack, and we did a lot of stupid stuff when we were kids, and that's what I liked about the music. So, it's just because you can talk about it, and that's what I loved so much about the hip hop world, because I related, my life related more to the hip hop world than it did any other genre. It seemed like Kurt Cobain, that's what all my peers were listening to, and I grew up pretty much predominantly in the inland Northwest, and but it didn't touch me like when I could hear a hip hop song talking about like the real struggles of poverty, they would talk about poverty in a way that I'm like, this is exactly what I'm living through, minus the Lolos, the 6 faux Lolos. I still don't know what a 6 faux Lolo is. No,
a lowrider.
I'm just kidding.
A car. Just a car.
No, I'm playing. But yeah, so we're gonna get some fresh blood in the studio. Yeah. Probably an undisclosed location, kind of like Alex Jones, InfoWars. Yeah. Just to keep it real. But anyway, so that's what we're talking about. The drugs though for the youth, man, it's like you're talking to someone who's in his mid-30s, and I've seen a lot of people go. I've seen even if they didn't die, I've seen people lose marriages. I've seen people lose retirement money, jobs, opportunities. Yeah. Everything. Health just goes to shit. Yeah. I mean, it's not fun. And and I don't want people to get the wrong idea. Like, we do this, the alcohol presentation, to be funny. Yeah. But honestly, when I drink, very seldom. It's more of a social basis. Yeah. So, I really, I realize that this is probably the wrong looking message, but I want to be just very open, very clear. I've seen a lot of people go down bad path, and just to be real, keep it 100. I don't condone living a life like that.
For sure. And I agree. The same with my boy. This is just all for, like I said, when we get together, we socialize. We just kick back, have conversations. It ain't really about this is an everyday thing where we just chug away our lives, and all that. But it's just more responsibly, I guess you could say, right?
Yep. Yeah. Yep. I mean, it's just we're entertaining, and that's the goal. Yeah. Entertain, but you realize that when it does come to the point where people are influenced by the music they hear, the message they get, I wish that more people would stand up and say, "Hey, don't do it. Yeah. I'm doing it. This is what I see." Yep. And that's where I wish hip hop would come back to. I think that hip hop would be just more powerful, and we'll talk to our next guest about this type of stuff.
That'll be a good thing to talk about.
So anyway, but let's go into TV. Let's switch gears a little bit. Okay. There is a new show, Eddie. Okay. On TLC, my favorite channel.
Oh man,
I don't watch TV, but if I did watch TV,
we're revisiting memory lane, aren't we?
Yeah, we're going down. We're taking a little trip down memory lane. So there's another dumpster fire of a reality show besides the one.
Dumpster fire.
This one is called Hot and Heavy.
Hot and Heavy. Okay.
Hot and Heavy, and it is a show about mixed weight couples. Okay. And there's a lot of criticism out there right now, and what this shows is mainly 300 to 400 pound females is what they're showing with these fit and lean males. Okay. And they're showing, some of their relationships. So it starts on December 10th on TLC. Oh, I guess it's already okay, it showed a trailer on December 10th. It starts on January 7th at 10 p.m. Central Time. So it says hot and heavy mixed weight couples. One partner is heavier than the other. The backlash was immediate, with social media users discussing the problematic message the show could send to viewers. They're saying that so far it appears that the heavier partner in every couple the show features is a woman, and that each woman's fatness is portrayed as a flaw the couple had to overcome to be in their prospective relationships. These depictions only stigmatize fat people, especially fat women, and open the door for hurtful rhetoric that only contributes to body image problems. So, what do you think, Eddie? Tell me about this?
I think at this point, it's just more to get attention than anything. That's kind of how I look at it, where just to gain attention. That's kind of, it's sparking up an uproar, because really, you're saying that social media is already reacting to it.
They're mad.
Yeah, they're getting that.
They're angry.
They're getting that response that they want.
They're heated.
Oh yeah, I bet. I mean,
triggered.
Yeah, hashtag triggered. That's a really good one. But yeah, man. I mean, come on, man. Hot and heavy. That's what it's called.
Hot and heavy.
Oh god, that title alone is just
next on TLC. Hot and heavy.
Yeah, I really honestly think that the wave has definitely changed since a 90 Day Fiance, in a sense, to where they're looking for that next big thing, I guess you can say, right?
That's what. No pun intended.
No, but I mean, like I go from where it's like it was a serious thing, where yeah, you really want to capture one's journey through that whole situation, but then along comes the drama with some certain individuals, to where like drama sells in a way. You know what I'm saying? So now they're kind of trying to see what else could benefit them, and that's in those same realms. That's what I think.
I think that, when you're going to start looking through, the bottom of the barrel of life, and this is the situation, why aren't there any fat men?
Yeah,
why? You know what I mean? And if there were fat men, I mean, is it okay? Is it justified if people are going to say something like, you're going to hear a lot of people that are going to have messages, people that work in the health industry, the medical industry, that are going to say, listen, you can't say that this stuff is okay. You can't say that being morbidly obese is okay. In fact, that's, one issue I've struggled with my whole life. And I'm telling you, I have been broken up with so many people. The number one reason why people broke up with me, not because I was an asshole, that was number two. Yeah. The number one reason was because I was fat.
Yeah.
I mean, in my younger years, and so I know what the struggle is. I know what it feels like. But you also start to, as you get older, you start to realize that there's real ramifications. There's health issues that come with being fat.
Yeah.
And you can be okay. I mean, it shouldn't be an issue that because there are people that look at fat people as like when you're standing in line and you see someone taking their extra time, and it gets frustrating, and the part of you that just wants everybody to go, kicks in, and you start thinking of the meanest things to think and to say. But in all honesty, I think that we can't continue giving this message that if people are living wrong, that do all the drugs you want, eat all the food you want, drink all the, you know what I mean? At some point, you've got to be able to address life. I mean, we've never, like, even in early, what was it? There was a time when being chubby was actually sexy to people, to human cultures, because it showed that, I have so much food that I can afford to put on a little bit of weight, and then if you were skin and bones, that showed that you were a laborer. So, and so that was their way of showing that they had money. This, though, is excess. There's no, this is like, and there could be, and this will be interesting for the show. Maybe there are some medical issues, and maybe this will be an opportunity for these people to talk about some of these things. But my fear is that they're just going to try to glamorize an unhealthy lifestyle. And that's my fear, that when I have my kids, because I grew up the way that I grew up, we do talk about food in our family. We do talk about the types of foods we put in our bodies. We talk about the way that people talk about, especially girls.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it is hard on girls. So we do have those conversations, and if they end up being overweight, then we'll deal with that.
Yeah.
But I'm sorry, we live in a callous society. People are gonna say you're not gonna get away from it, and if you're gonna put yourself in TV in the eyes of the world, such as we did, I know what it's like. Then just be ready. Don't no one's gonna feel bad for you.
Yeah, I think you're gonna have people kind of coming at you at that point. It's kind of like an open gate at that point, right? Where it's gonna be like
open season.
Yeah, open season, right? But you're right. I think I look at it more from a health standpoint than anything. It's just like under those conditions, man, a lot comes with it. You know what I'm saying? A lot of heart disease, high cholesterol, all that stuff. At the end, man, if it's gonna mess with your life and it's gonna actually deplete you of your life, I don't look at it as a good thing. That's just plain simple to me, dude. You know?
If people are like, saying, just super, super hurtful comments just to be mean and spiteful about it, that's wrong. That's on that person.
Yeah, for sure.
That shouldn't be tolerated. I'm talking about if people, are trying to glamorize being morbidly obese, this is the way that I am and I like it. Okay, you can like it, but understand if you're going to be on your partner's insurance, they're going to have to deal with that expense, and that's not cheap. So I'll leave it at that. People already hate me. I don't care.
Hateful comments all over.
Well, speaking of hateful comments,
oh no,
someone that gets more hateful comments than me, Nick Cannon.
Oh man, yeah, that was. What's the first thing that I asked myself is like, how did this come about again? And I thought we were already pretty much done and over with this whole beef between him and M. And it's like, I feel like this point, he's trying to pick it up again out of nowhere and just kind of like, again, I feel like it's for attention. For what? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? And M, it's like he's kind of at this point where he'll drop a song here or there. He'll make an appearance here and there, but it's like he already delivered a couple classic albums. I mean, I would say, like Marshall Mathers LP, Encore. What's the other one before that? The one that put him on?
The Slim Shady LP.
Slim Shady LP. Dude, I mean, that's what else is there to say?
I mean, he's put his he's already in the hall of everything. I mean, he's literally the rap god that he came to be, and no one, but here's the thing though, is once you have a human form of a god and he's still living, so like Tupac, nobody can touch it. Biggie, nobody can touch it. Right. And you got people that just want to make a name for themselves. They'll come out and such, and try to take a swing at it. Yeah. But Eminem's still alive. You know what I mean? Eminem would be in that same, if Eminem were to have died with his drug issues. Yeah. We would be talking about Eminem in the same way that we talk about Biggie and then we talk about Tupac. And the fact that he's still alive and amazing. I mean, the guy, I'm not a fan. This is coming from someone who's not really a fan anymore. Only because I don't think that he contributes to the culture in the way that seems relevant. And that's like, that's just my personal opinion, right? I mean, there's like more people that will disagree with me than whatever. Doesn't matter. But Nick Cannon, I don't know what's going on with him. I don't know what's going on. I mean, it's like, okay, the whole thing started with, in the very beginning, Eminem claimed that he had a relationship with Mariah. Nick Cannon came in and married her, wifed her, had some kids with her, and felt like that was his battle because Eminem still came out swinging. Yeah. And, and so Nick Cannon, he came out with a weak response. I mean, this thing, did you hear that?
I didn't hear all of both diss tracks all the way through. I've just heard of, I've seen and read some mixed reactions about both of them. Some of them were saying they were pretty good. Some people were saying that they were like just kind of weak. But
I fell asleep in the middle of it.
Really?
I literally fell asleep. I was like,
did Em respond? By the way, did he?
I don't know if he did or not.
Okay. So he's not really responding on that.
Sorry about that, guys. As far as I know, I haven't seen anything. But Nick Cannon responded. Okay. And he hit him up on Twitter, and he says, "I won. This has been fun. Now back to your regularly scheduled programs. Really. Now, I sent you the video.
Okay.
He got more dislikes than likes.
Yeah.
You lost, homeboy.
Yeah.
You lost.
Yeah. I feel like it's like kind of like when they say the people spoken. You know what I'm saying? Like if people kind of thought it was kind of a weak diss. And just the fact overall, man, like why pick it up again to where this has already happened when it happened the first time?
Because Eminem is so big, right?
Yeah.
And there's this perception that he can't be touched. Now, one of my biggest gripes about Eminem was that he always picked easy targets. So where I left off was I was talking about Eminem hitting easy targets. Yep. And so, dude, you know what I'd really love? Like, instead of him coming at Justin Timberlake, and like, he was attacking the little girl. Like it's almost on the level. It reminds me of, you know how Trump is attacking this climate chick from Sweden or whatever her name, Greta something.
Yeah.
So like Eminem was attacking this girl. Her name was like Billie Eilish or something. I don't know. She's some pop singer. Pop singer. Like Eminem, dude. You know better. Just leave it alone. Like, it looks exactly like Trump attacking Greta.
If he would have, and that's one thing I believe I did run across in the interwebs that were talking about how they hold him pretty high in the sense of, being he's lyrical. Don't get me wrong, right?
Yeah.
That's my honest opinion. But let's say he went up against a Kendrick, or let's say he went up against a Nasir.
Yes.
Or let's say he went up against just one of these heavily prominent dudes that are out there like spitting bars. Bro.
Yes.
Jay Electronica. Someone.
Who?
Just who? But you know what I mean, right?
No. But with the other guys, yes.
Is it Jay Electronica the guy that we were waiting for that album and that never dropped it?
I don't know who this guy is.
Who was it? Anyways, no. Dude, the White Claw's got me. The White Claw's got me, dude.
Dude, I am feeling this. Yeah. I'm so drunk.
No, but this
kidding.
This is kicking in.
It is.
No, but there was a cat that we were waiting for his album and never dropped. And then we were like, man, when is this ever gonna...
The 6ix9ine guy that snitched.
Yeah. It ain't safe for him anymore, boy.
Hey, is this the guy that we have? Yeah, Eminem could be like, this would be Kendrick. And then Eminem would be coming at him like
poof poof, left right,
rope a dope motherfucker.
But you know what I'm saying? That's the thing. What I'm trying to say ultimately is, if he would have a lot of credentials if he really went up against a dude that's really
absolutely
bar for bar. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. But
like, and people talk about on Rebel. Right? Is that the song Rebel? No, Renegade.
Renegade. Yeah.
Jay-Z Renegade. That Eminem killed Jay-Z on his own song. The thing is Eminem was just proving how lyrical he was. But if even Jay were to come, and I'm not a fan of Jay-Z at all.
Really?
I just think he's sold out. I think
he's sold out.
He's the hood's Donald Trump.
Yeah.
And I think he's gonna sell people out. He already did Colin Kaepernick over. So, hey man, he's after the money.
The moolah.
But even Jay, if Jay and Eminem were to come at each other, yeah, it could get dicey.
777. That's what they go for, 7, right?
So that's that's the thing. So,
yeah.
But Nick Cannon, that's like
little puppy,
dude.
Yeah,
nothing.
Yeah,
Nick Cannon, you're nothing.
Yeah.
Stop.
Yeah,
Stop.
I remember him from the Gigolo song, minus the R. Kelly part.
Who? Yeah, he just annoyed. He reminds me of a flea on a dog that the dog is trying to scratch away, and he just can't get it because the flea will just keep attacking him.
He just wasn't really well known as a rapper in my sense. You know what I'm saying? He was more known of like an actor, an actor, or even like a host for his Wild 'N Out show.
Yeah, he's
a businessman. I mean, he is making some coin out there, but a rapper, man, I don't know. I just never. I mean,
between me and you, this is what I heard. I heard Eminem was gonna get him. Nick at Night. That was on the internet. I was
gonna say
that wasn't me.
Did you come up with that?
No. But no. I mean, yeah. Eminem or Nick Cannon was good in his own right. He's a funny guy. But you know who I think killed Eminem on a he didn't even have to put out a song to do it?
Who?
Lord Jamar.
Lord Jamar. Okay.
When he was talking about Eminem, he says he equated Eminem to be like the girl that is real good at fellatio, and that's all she's good at.
Jeez.
Like, I heard that and my stomach hurt because I was like, I'm sure Eminem read that and he understood that, because you don't hear a lot of people, especially like inner cities. You don't hear a lot of Eminem being played in inner cities. That's
exactly, you're right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Except for the ones that he was featuring, like in Forgot About Dre. Like, it features.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
Right.
Stuff like that. But I'll keep it 100 with that. But along with like a soul Eminem CD, probably not.
You're not hearing Eminem, Slim Shady LP or Encore or anything else in the middle of Queens. Sorry. You know,
True, right?
That's just not your crowd. And as much as you want it to be, as much as you want to be, like, I remember he put out that Donald Trump freestyle in Detroit and he made it look like, no, it's not. I'm sorry. You're just like, your audience is not that.
Yeah.
As much as you want it to be, it's not.
Yeah. But let's just say, and to keep it real, he did pave the way for him creating his own huge dominant fan base. And, he does have a huge following. And, of course, we're not going to sit here and say that we're not holding him at a high level, because he is. He did carve his way to be where he's at right now.
The only reason we can talk like that is because he's still alive.
Yes.
If he was dead, I would be like, nope, I'm not gonna say anything.
And that's White Claw.
Yes. White Claw, no law, baby.
You ain't balling if you ain't clawing. Oh man, dude. No, but yes, you're right with that point on there. You're really not going to hear a lot of people from the inner cities, like you said, like in Queens or any of those places, to where they're going to be like, freely bumping Eminem in their car or something like that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And that's just real. We're not saying it's just because they don't like the guy, but it's just probably not their type of music to where it sets that mood to do that. You know what I'm saying?
You don't hear people in the what do you call those, that mountain trail in the South, the Appalachian, guys. Mm-hmm. You don't hear any Kendrick Lamar playing on any of their jukeboxes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I'd be surprised if that were the case, though.
Hey, in Montana, I can take you to some bars.
I'll show you.
Yeah, I'll show you the nooks and the crannies. The crooks and the grannies. Yeah. So let's switch gears. All right. I don't know if you... And I'm doing this. I'm actually setting this up for a reason.
Okay.
This story first before we go to the next one.
Okay.
The headline says, runner accused of groping reporter during live TV broadcast charged with sexual battery. Are you familiar with this story?
No. So, okay, let me try to get this down. The dude was running in a marathon.
Yeah.
Right? Walks by Shorty, grabs her, and runs off.
Just like slapped her right on the... Yep. And the reaction when you saw it, like, I mean, there was nothing. She was not happy at all, she shouldn't be.
Of course,
right? And he was just, that you can see the camera still rolling. She's in shock, and he's like, it ain't no thing to him.
Yeah.
And anyway, so they tracked him down. 43-year-old Thomas Calloway. He was arrested at 5 p.m. last Friday.
Okay.
And released on $1,300 bail. And so...
Is he going to get charged with sexual assault?
He was, let's see, Calloway turned himself to the Chatham County Sheriff's Office. He was arrested for misdemeanor charge of sexual battery. Okay. So, good. I mean, that was... It was caught live on television.
It was like live evidence right there.
And that's what and I hope that the judge, because they have this, I hope that they play that. I mean, he'll probably plead guilty. If he pleads guilty, then that's probably going to be the easiest thing for him to do. Yeah. But that's great. I'm glad that that there was swift judgment, swift action on this, because that is one thing that we see a lot of in this country, where it's a problem because a lot of stuff it's hard to prove that it happened. Like, what if there were no cameras rolling and she just claimed it happened?
Yeah, I feel like it would have been one of those things where, you know, they would probably say it was out of like she was out of context or she's making it up or
exaggerating. You know how they are.
Yeah, you know. But to be real, I mean, if it's caught on camera live, homeboy's gonna pay the price. Yeah.
What an idiot!
Man, justice
what
served.
an
Justice
idiot!
is served, yeah.
What does Charlemagne say?
Donkey of the day.
Donkey of the day.
Yeah.
Sorry, Thomas Calloway. But the reason why I said that first was because I wanted to talk about our friend Oprah.
Okay.
She's in a little bit of a little
hiatus,
tiffy.
Okay.
With Russell Simmons. You know who Russell Simmons is?
Oh, Uncle Russ.
Oh yeah, and our boy 50 Cent.
50?
Yeah,
50 Cent. 50 Ferrari R50.
Yeah. Hashtag get the strap.
Oh, get the strap. Yeah.
So apparently Oprah is getting ready to release a documentary.
Okay.
And now she's always been real cool with Russell Simmons.
Yeah.
Well, apparently he is going to be the focus of one of her documentaries where they are talking about sexual assault.
Mm-hmm. He was charged, before you go on, he was charged with sexual assaults, right?
Oh,
he was. He had to step down from Def Jam.
He's been dealing with this stuff, right? Yeah. And he's admitted to it. But what he claims, his defense, is that everything that he's done has been...
Consensual?
Well...
Is that the word, right?
Yeah, I think 20... Yeah, it says, all of my claims are 25 to 40 years old. Okay. This is what he says on his Instagram.
Okay.
Let's see. These stories are unusable and hurt people, blah, blah, blah. Let's see. Happened. Yeah. It's impossible to prove what happened 40 years ago, but in my case, proof exists of what didn't happen. Mostly signed letters from their own parents, siblings, roommates, band members, interns. And in the case of 2 of your 3 accusers, their own words in their books. Shocking how many people have misused this important, powerful revolution. They're talking about the Me Too revolution right now, where a lot of people are fed up. Sexual assault has been going on by people in power for and just never really handled.
Yeah.
And now we are at a time where people are not putting up with it.
Yeah, for sure.
But the problem is that they're going in so far back now. Like now they're like they're retrospectively or retroactively trying to apply punishment. In some cases it's good, right? In some cases you need to go back and like, okay, wait a minute. We know this was good, but not for everything.
Yeah.
And I think in this situation, I don't know. I don't know these people. I don't know what they went through, but it seems like the issue at hand is that 50 Cent called her out.
Okay.
And he puts a picture of Cosby, jail. Jeffrey Epstein, walk. Kevin Spacey, walk. Harvey Weinstein, walk. R. Kelly, jail.
Definitely jail.
Donald Trump,
no questions asked.
Walk. Yeah. And president. And what he's saying, he says, you think Oprah don't notice how this shit is playing out? And what he's saying, oh, thank you, sir.
Yeah, of course.
What are we doing? No, this is natural lime.
Oh, natural lime? Oh, damn.
Natural lime. But thank you. Yeah. But anyway, so he's coming at Oprah saying, hey, why are you only attacking people, African Americans? Why are you letting Harvey? Now, if you know Oprah, you know that she's friends with Harvey. Yeah. She has pictures. And for the most part, in all honesty, she's really let him get off with a lot.
Yeah.
She's let him get away with a lot.
Let's just say it's a good observation on 50's behalf because, I mean, if you really put the facts out there, I mean, by all means, let's just say R. Kelly, first and foremost, deserves to go to jail. I'll say that.
Absolutely.
You know, but I know what he's saying.
But why are we turning a blind eye to it when it's happening from Harvey and Epstein?
Exactly.
I mean, look at what Epstein, everything Epstein did.
Yeah.
Everything that R. Kelly did pales in comparison to Epstein. What R. Kelly did was
equal punishment.
No,
Epstein, it should be equal punishment.
No, Epstein was 10 times worse than what R. Kelly did.
No, not equal punishment. What I mean, they should be handled in punishment in general.
R. Kelly, he just liked young girls.
Yeah.
He would manipulate them.
Yeah,
he would get in their mind, allegedly.
Yeah.
Epstein was bringing abused women in, underage, to his island, and bringing people of power, Prince Andrew, Bill Clinton, supposedly. I mean, all these people that people are rich, and destroying these lives. Yeah. And then going to court. In court, he would have his own little jail where he was allowed visits and all that. I mean, Epstein got away with everything. He was trying to until Hillary got involved.
The thing is how that was handled was he pretty much got like a slap on the wrist.
Yeah,
but you're right. What I mean to say is like they should be punished for the crimes they did to the account and to the high level of things that they did for sure.
Ooh, that's a good one.
But I get what he's saying in the sense to like quit instead of just trying to focus solely on our brothers. Why don't you focus on these cats too as well? You know, they're not all, angels as they claim to be as well. You know what I'm saying? And they did some pretty foul shit. Go after them too. Why don't you tell Weinstein, hey, talk about your shit?
In all fairness, Bill Cosby, those rumors had been swirling for years. Yeah, and it wasn't until Hannibal Buress or whatever.
I believe so.
He was an African American comedian, and he started like, hey guys, I know this is an open secret in Hollywood, but I'm gonna use it in my act. And when he started talking about it that people started paying attention. So Bill Cosby got away with it for a long time.
Oh, man, yeah. If that's
R. Kelly though, remember the first time in 2008 was it? The first time he was tried, innocent
with Aaliyah.
And then he was married to Aaliyah.
Didn't they actually slap another court casing with that too about Aaliyah? How he pretty much forced them to sign off the certificate of marriage, even though she was like below the age of being able to get married. So he got actually trial for that too as well, like recently. I mean, overall, man.
Yeah, it's all happening.
Yeah. It's just crazy to me. Like it's that he got away with that clean, like, or he got away from it as far as much as he did till now. And now they're really kind of like, okay, we need to do something about this now.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. It seems like, this is a problem. I was talking to a girl who went to high school. She actually college. She went to the college with KJ Wright.
Okay.
With the Seahawks.
Okay.
And so she knew him personally, went to college. Well, in that college, there were some sexual assaults that were going unreported, or they were trying to report them. She was trying to bring some of these things up, and nobody would touch it because these celebrities, these sports figures were treated like celebrities, and
they were trying to kind of brush it under the rug type deal, right?
Yeah, they were covering for these guys because these sports guys bring in so much revenue for these college. They don't want their bread and butter to get caught up in these charges, and they will protect.
They wanted to protect their image in the sense of like the college. They wanted to not let anything blemish it, right?
Yep, and that's what they're doing in Hollywood. They do the same thing to these producers, to these actors. Doesn't matter, and that is the thing that needs to change. Is the fact that we need to quit holding,
for sure,
these people so high, and because it's almost like we make them greater than humans, and they're not. I'm telling you. There will be another R. Kelly. There will be another Bill Cosby. There will be another Harvey Weinstein. Hopefully there won't be another Jeffrey Epstein.
Yeah.
Hopefully that guy can just go to hell and stay in hell. So anyway, the reason I just wanted to talk about that, the fact that 50 Cent was coming to Russell Simmons' defense against Oprah, and I don't know. We'll see how that gets responded.
For sure. It is. I mean, like I said, I get what he's trying to say in the sense of like, hey, why don't you go talk to these other guys that are dealing with the same shit too, or have done things in the realms of what he was doing.
Yeah.
So it's like, be fair only. Be fair, don't just look at and shine the spotlight on Simmons, you know what I'm saying?
I wish that we could get past this whole issue of race to begin with.
Yeah.
I'm so done with this issue where we have to, where that has to be a barrier and that has to be a part of the conversation. Well, I'm going to talk about him because he's white. I'm not going to talk about him and her and what, you know what I mean? It's like there's too many. This is not normal.
Yeah.
This is not normal. But unfortunately, there's been a terrible history in this country with race that a lot of people, especially the ones that have been hurt, can't let it go.
Yeah.
So I don't know what the answer is. I really don't, because if I did, I wouldn't be here. And
drinking your White Claw.
Hopefully, but that is something I would love to see. I would love to see it in my lifetime, and I'm sure people have said that in previous generations where they wanted to see the change. I mean, look at what Martin Luther King Jr. did to get ahead and to progress, and there's so many leaders, and there's a lot of white people that have to support these things, and I don't know.
For sure, man. I'm with you. I'm hoping to see that type of unity here in my lifetime before, it's time to go. But it's really up to us as individuals really to kind of just move forward and just kind of, put all that to the side and really just look at this, dude. We're just all human beings like anybody else, dude. Look past color, whatever, man. I look at you as just, a person. That's it.
Right. Nothing
beyond that. That's it, dude.
Yeah, and this would certainly be a conversation for later. There's certainly things that we can do with certain communities.
Yeah.
I mean, like the prison industrial complex that has to get fixed, and we'll save that for another time.
For sure.
Now another one I want to talk about. We're in the Christmas season.
Yes. And season to be jolly.
There's a reason for the season, and we can't forget the reason.
A reason for the season.
There's a reason for the season.
You've been practicing on your lyrics.
No, that's a very common one. That's not.
That was the first time I heard it. It's the claw speaking.
So there is a Netflix show coming out.
Okay.
And but unfortunately, it's or fortunately, depending on what side of the coin you're on. There is a 1.3 million people signed petition demanding Netflix remove comedy depicting Jesus as gay.
Okay.
All right. So here's the deal. More than 1.3 million people have signed a petition demanding that Netflix removes a Brazilian comedy special that depicts Jesus Christ as homosexual. Titled "The First Temptation of Christ," presumably alluding to the controversial 1988 film "The Last Temptation of Christ." The satirical special was created by a Brazilian comedy group known as Porta dos Fundos. Sorry, I butcher Spanish horribly. I feel so bad. I should let you be reading this.
So I'm disrespecting you as we speak right here in front of you. You're trying, Brett. That's all that matters. You're trying.
No laws with White Claws.
There ain't no laws with the White Claw.
But anyway, it says, Jesus, who's hitting the 3-0, brings a surprise guest to meet the family. A Christmas special so wrong, it must be from comedians Porta dos Fundos.
Okay.
Reads its description on Netflix. A petition in Portuguese calling for Netflix to remove the special was posted last week on change.org by a person named Alex Brandon Joyce. As of Friday morning, it has gotten 1.35 million signatures. Eduardo Bolsonaro, son of conservative Brazilian President Jair Bolsonaro, took to social media to denounce the satirical special. So they're really upset about this. Let's see. In this biblical hangover spoof, the apostles awaken to find Jesus is missing and must piece together events of the previous night's wild Last Supper. So people are clowning on the Savior.
Yeah.
So what are your thoughts? What do you think about that?
Question. Why? Comedic purposes, yeah, I get it, but for me, my personal opinion, man, when it comes to religion, I honestly respect anybody else's beliefs and all that. That's just me as a person, but for you really to take a jab at stuff like that, I just feel it's just kind of crossing the line, in my opinion. I think it's kind of whack, to be honest. It's not something I would just be like, oh, hey, let's check this out.
Did you ever watch the South Park one, something about the Mormon one, Book of Mormon or something Mormon? They did sort of a satirical piece on that one.
Yes.
The Book of Mormon.
I think I know what you're talking about. I mean, I've seen South Park before and all that. I don't remember that specific episode, but yeah.
So here's what there's a few things I thought about when I was reading this. I said, okay, it's funny to me that people will always attack Christianity, right?
Yeah.
Because Christians, just by nature, they just roll with it. They'll roll their eyes like, here it is.
Mm-hmm.
Here, keep coming. It's not gonna end,
Yeah.
But no one will ever come at Islam in that same way, because guess what? The artist in Paris tried.
Oh yeah, I've heard about.
Yeah,
And
they tried.
They put a stop to it, right?
There was a terrorist attack.
Yeah, there was. Yeah,
And there were people that got killed. So people know that when you mess with Islam, there's like what is it? Eddie Murphy says in life, there'll be consequences and repercussions. But Christians are just like,
Yeah.
we'll just build another hospital. We don't care.
Yeah.
But it does get old, I guess. I mean, when you're a Christian, but the other end is, I think they do this in response to a lot of Christians, if they're devout, practicing Christians, they will try to live life a certain way that sort of spits in the face of the way that modern culture wants to live. They want to smoke. They want to, just live in the way that modern culture is. And a lot of Christians will protest. They'll protest abortion clinics. They'll protest homosexual marriages. Maybe not protest, but the cake, they won't make a cake.
Oh yeah, they won't make
for them. There's all these things. And so that, when you are in those groups, you're like, I'm just as human as you are.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean? Like, you won't make me a cake.
Yeah.
I mean, and here's the thing. I'm a small government guy. I think that if you don't want to make a cake for someone, no matter what your reasons, maybe you just don't like the hat he's wearing, maybe whatever. We live in a capitalist society that you can support the gay cake maker. Yeah. There are so many gay cake bakers that they would love your money to come to their business. So, but it's the point that they're trying to make is they're trying to, attack Christianity. They're trying to squeeze it out. But I'm telling you, out of most of the religions, Christianity is one of the better ones. I mean, it's funny. I don't know. I mean, maybe I'm biased. Could be biased. I'm probably biased.
Hey, you admit to
it. But you just won't see. And like with Islam, I know there's a ton of good Muslims out there. There's a ton of them, but it's the ones that won't put up with it that they're afraid of.
Yeah.
You don't, the Christians like that you wouldn't put up with, those were all in the 90s. Those guys were like, the domestic terrorists, and they all died. They domestic terrorized themselves out of the equation. You don't see too many crazy Christians like that, anymore. I think a lot of the Christians in today just want a nice, safe place to worship. So be it. You know what I mean? I think that at the end of the day, everybody has to go to their own place of worship, temple, house of worship, whatever it is, mosque, what have you. I think that everybody should be able to practice freely. But we live in a free society where this stuff is going to come out there. So you can sign whatever petition you want. Sorry, I'm boring.
No. It's been a long day. It's just been a long day.
I'm only getting 3 hours of sleep tonight. I've got Fortnite to play after this. But
we'll touch on that a little bit.
But anyway, so I mean, but that's the thing. I think that, with me, I guess, I roll with any punches no matter what. Like, we just live in a free society where people just speak their mind. No matter who you are, no matter what walk of life you are, we do have protected walks of life, I've noticed.
Yeah.
If you're one color, you can't say this about this color. If you're one weight, you can't say this about this weight. If you're, you know what I mean? Like, we live in this crazy world with so many complex rules. My wife was very confused, by the way. When she came over, she's just like, this is complicated.
Really?
She just, because like we would listen to hip hop music and I'm like, babe, you can't recite these lyrics. You can't.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
You can't.
Yeah.
Especially with me. Like, don't even just you can hum to it and that's it. Just hum to it.
Yeah.
but don't
say these words.
Don't karaoke the song, please.
Yeah, no, I see what you're saying. Yeah, you're right. It's you really gotta, be careful of especially like you said, she's coming from a different country. She doesn't really know how things kind of flow here, especially just with stuff like that, like some things you can't say and all that, which is totally understandable. And that's one thing to where I feel like, especially like you, if like somebody were to say something out of context in a sense, like reciting some words off a rap lyric, they'd be like, whoa, pump your brakes, you know what I'm saying? So it's like you get that.
He didn't just say what I think he did he?
So I see what you're saying, but yeah, you're right, man. You're right. Overall on the whole topic about that. It's people have the will to say whatever they want and to do whatever they want and all that, but at the same time, man, we really got to be careful how. Just especially when it comes to religion, like I said, I respect all religions, all walks of life. To everybody that believes however they believe, whatever it is they believe in religion wise, that's cool. But when bashing and talking bad about so and so they believe this way or so and so's a Christian, I just kind of like that's just not my lane to be in. You know what I'm saying? So
right,
that's just how I look at it.
Yeah. No.
Are we? 2 in. This is my second one.
Dude, this is like potent.
This is good. No, it's good. I actually, and for all the viewers out there, I like it. I mean, I'll say I fuck with it, but you won't see me walking to fucking 7-Eleven and picking up a case of this like on a daily. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm the guy that if I do buy, well, I guess I have no shame in my game, so I could, like, I bought this, and I was wearing like a shirt that barely covered my midriff. It had my midriff showing. It's all good though.
It's all good.
And I think I had an unlit cigarette just hanging from my lip.
You forgot it was there.
I forgot.
Hey, you got something there. Oh, sorry. Guys.
Oh yeah, I'm saving that for later. But no, it's pretty, like, it packs a punch. I'm telling you. Like, if I were alone, I get why the millennials like this. The 100 calories, gluten-free. I'm telling you, though, it does pack a punch.
It does.
I'm sitting here, and I'm like, this is...
Did I have 2 shots of whiskey, or am I like one local, or one White Claw in?
I wish we had a local rapper in here so I could, like, freestyle. Go bar for bar. See how far we go.
Oh, you will soon.
Drive a car.
Whoa. I swear, man, you're on your tip right now, dude. It's like you're practicing in here.
Oh, dude, it's like independent shit to entertainment. I'm bringing it to life. I can't wait for the change.
Oh, dude, yeah, that will be a reality. I'm putting it out into the universe, dude.
The bear tattoo.
What is that? What is it again?
It's a trailer. It's like a
independent shiznit.
Independent shiznit entertainment.
Okay, dude, rocking
because
that chain, dude.
the idea when I was young, I was like 20 years old. And, I had friends that were dealing drugs, and they were like, hey, we really want to support this record label.
Yeah.
We want legit money.
Yeah.
So that was our plan
back
in the day. I just didn't know how we were going to do it from Montana.
Why is there so many bakery shops popping out of nowhere, dude? Why is there so many dry cleaning places popping out of nowhere?
And I'm sure the local authorities were wondering why there was so much snow in the summer.
Snow coming north, motherfucker.
I'm kidding.
You're leaving here soon. That's one thing for anybody else, for everybody listening or watching this YouTube channel, the Depicts podcast. We're gonna take a little bit much of a break, I guess you can say, until January.
Just a little bit,
just so people know. And I know lately we've been kind of dry in the sense of content, just because the holidays are here. We've been dealing with some stuff. You had your daughter here for a good week or so, and I've been dealing with stuff on my end. But we're trying to stay consistent. We got some stuff lined up for next year, early next year in January. Yeah. But my boy here is gonna be out of the country here for a little bit. I know you're stoked for that, to kick your feet up, just kind of relax and unplug yourself from just, all this stuff that's going on over here. But we're going to hit it hard next year. But, I mean, how are you feeling now that it's getting close to the time to depart, kind of unplug yourself and just head to the motherland?
It's cool because in about, less than a week, actually, I'll be flying out and, excuse me, White Claw, no laws. Spit bars. But, But yeah, getting ready to go to the Philippines. This is my second time going to the Philippines, and where my wife and daughter are waiting for me.
Yeah.
But my goodness, boy, we got a ton of stuff on the itinerary.
Yeah.
We've got hot springs lined up. We've got there's an island up there called Palawan.
Okay.
And there's an underground cave, and it's like the world's longest cave. They call it one of the new 7 wonders of the world.
Okay.
And so I'm looking forward to that one. That was actually the island we were supposed to go to when I went there in 2013. But there was at that time the world's largest typhoon Yolanda. So we had to cut that leg off of our trip.
Yeah.
But this time we're gonna do it.
Sweet.
So we're just super super stoked. And what do we have? We have snorkeling on the agenda. We have all kinds of stuff. We're gonna be doing Christmas and New Year's in the Philippines. So yeah, man. I mean, I just anytime I can get out of the country, I just love it. I mean, I was talking to a guy at work who just came back from a trip to Paris, 6-day trip to Paris, saying that he took his family to Disneyland over there.
In Paris?
Yeah.
Oh,
so
word.
one thing, like cigars, we were talking to, we've talked about cigars on the show a little bit. So apparently in the Philippines, cigars are known in the Asian world.
Okay.
They're sort of held in high regard. You're allowed to bring up to 50 cigars back. So I'm going to bring you some, Grant, just whatever. I'm going to bring some back so that we can try them. I mean, my honest opinion, just from the research I've done, I don't think it is anything compared to like a Nicaraguan, a Guatemalan, Cuban. I've never smoked a Cuban, but Guatemalan, Nicaraguan, those are great cigars. Those are great sticks to smoke. But I'm going to try a Philippine one, and I'm hoping that I can get them hand rolled.
Straight from there, dude.
Yeah, from there. So we'll see.
Nice. Yeah, man. It's crazy that we're already crossing into 2020. I feel like we're starting pretty strong with this podcast, and I just want to send a huge shout out to everybody that's been following. The Instagram page is growing by quite a bit. YouTube as well, subscribers wise. Thank you for everybody. We're only going to get better. We're really planning on, bringing you guys some really good content. We got some pretty cool guests lined up for next year. And we're really trying to make this kind of like a diverse podcast in a sense to where it's a podcast, but with a little bit of kick. So with that being said, unless you have something else you want to say for now before we cut this one loose or anything else that I'm forgetting.
No, if you want to play... Stay with me. Play Fortnite. We can play Fortnite, dude. Like, let's just cut this and let's end this. Let's hurry up and end this so we can play Fortnite.
Right. So for anybody that guys wants to watch this content on the video side of it, you can catch us on our YouTube page at the Tip Touch Podcast, and also we're on Spotify. We're in Apple Podcasts. We're on Tune FM Radio for the audio only side of the podcast. But again, subscribe to our IG as well at the Tip Touch Podcast. And again, thank you for everybody that's followed us so far. And thank you for you guys for tuning into this one. And, we will see you here in 2020. And for everybody, have a good Christmas. Have a safe, happy New Year. And we'll see you then 2020. It's only going to get better.
Yeah, and I do want to add one more last piece. But everything that Eddie said, I completely agree with it. I agree with it completely. Thank you guys so much. We love the support. This is fun. I mean, it's fun.
Yeah.
Right here, Apple, for all of our Apple subscribers, this is an email that we got. It says that, let's see, spread the word on your show or episode promotion channels, wherever else you communicate with your audience, blah, blah, blah. This is for your Alexa people. So go ahead and say, Alexa, play Tip Touch podcast on Apple Podcast, or Alexa, play whatever the title from yesterday's Apple Podcast. Apple, skip ahead, or Alexa, skip ahead 30 seconds. Alexa, play the previous episode. So Alexa is in the game.
Nice.
So
Alexa, even though
that was from
people's conversations.
Yeah. Robots are running the world. I can't wait to marry one. Well, open marriage. I mean, if she was cool with me marrying a robot too, I would let never marry one. You know? Maybe that's just a White Claw, no law talking. Yeah. That is it. Thank you. Thank you for coming up, Eddie. I love all these times, man. You are like my favorite guy. If you weren't married and if I wasn't married, I would be like, hey, can you want to be best friends?
Play games together.
Play video games together.
That's life, dude.
That's it.
But anyways, thank you again, guys, and we'll see you then. 2020, baby.
Yes, sir.